Hello, I'm Adam.
And I'm Joe. And we're the
Maladjusted Misfits.
No. You're not allowed to help.
Okay.
We're the Maladjusted Misfits. And this is the one where we talk about friends.
Yes.
Good job. All right. This is episode number 3.
We are on our way. We are old pros at this now.
Ooh, you're shooting that wad really early. It's only episode 3. This is the one with the thumb.
The one with the thumb.
Yeah, directed by James Burrows again. This is 3 out of the 15 episodes. So he also directed 246 episodes of Will and Grace.
Holy shit.
In 1998. Maybe he left Friends for Will and Grace. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. So he likes sitcoms. He enjoys them, he said. I read that. So.
Okay.
The writers this episode, Jeff Astroff and Mike Sikowitz.
Okay.
Together, they wrote 47 episodes of Friends. Mike also wrote episodes for Rules of Engagement, Dr. Ken with Ken Jeong in it, and The Goldbergs. And Jeff wrote for Hanging with Mr. Cooper. You remember that show?
Hanging with Mr.
Yeah.
It's not ringing any bells.
Really? I think Robin Givens is in it.
Oh.
I'll have
It's
to
not a
look it
Twin
up.
Peaks spinoff?
No. And then The Wild Thornberrys. You probably know that
Yes,
one.
I know.
Okay.
I'm aware of that
So
one.
he wrote for that. So tell us about the episode plot from IMDb.
Okay, Monica becomes irritated when everyone likes her new boyfriend more than she does. Chandler resumes smoking habit. Phoebe is given $7,000 when she finds a thumb and a can of soda.
And this originally aired October 6th, 1994. Are you ready for some trivia?
I am ready. I didn't read any of these this time, so
Oh,
it'll be
so you'll
I'll
be
be
surprised.
surprised.
All right. So this is the first appearance of Joey and Chandler's apartment.
Okay.
So we haven't seen it in episodes 1 and 2. So we get a glimpse of their apartment they actually show.
The set designers were like, okay.
We picked
we
up a
need
couple.
some more old posters.
The drinks that Rachel messes up, I think, is funny in that scene.
Yes.
So
She
Monica,
gives everybody the wrong drinks.
Monica was supposed to get the decaf cappuccino. Joey was supposed to get the latte. Chandler was supposed to get the black coffee, like me. I drink coffee black. And Ross got the iced tea.
Iced tea, like me.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
get the iced tea. Me and Ross, very similar.
With iced tea. So then the other trivia was Chandler's cubicle. So this is the first time we see Chandler at work.
Right.
And so I took notes of things that were in his cubicle because some of them, when he's in his office in later episodes,
Right.
there's a few things that I saw from his cubicle. So I wanted
Rubber
to...
chicken?
Yep, the rubber chicken. So he has 2 no smoking signs, a dartboard, a bumble ball, so the ball with the big bumps on it, you know?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. A black gorilla.
A black gorilla.
Yeah. A rubber chicken, a magic 8-ball, a T-Rex with boxing gloves on, 2 baseball bats, a baseball glove, a plastic spider web, a retractable claw, a snow globe, and a Toronto's Blue Jays hat, because Matthew is from Canada.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's Canadian.
Another comedian from Canada, eh?
Hey. Another piece of trivia is Phoebe offers Chandler $7,000 if he never smokes again. But later, he smokes in 5 other episodes.
Uh-oh.
So did he give her the money back?
I'm going to assume he did not give her the money back. She probably forgot about it anyway.
Probably. You're right. The subplot of this episode, the thumb in the soda, which is never actually shown, so we don't get to see the thumb, is similar to a woman in San Jose, California, who sued Wendy's for finding a finger in her chili. So
Wow.
Yeah.
I did remember something like that happening.
It wasn't even around the time of this episode, so
Yeah.
it's not-
Well, I don't know. I just remember like the finger in the chili sounds familiar.
Yeah. And then this is the first episode that Chi-Chi the dog is mentioned.
Why don't I remember this dog?
All right. So what was your reaction to this episode?
Let's see. Episode 3, I think it was nice to finally get a break from the trials of Ross Geller and Rachel Green and to start learning more about the lives of the other characters. Phoebe and Chandler both have bigger roles this time.
Yep.
Joey still gets left out. Maybe next week. I don't know.
I like Phoebe's character. Like, she's my second favorite because I just have a thing for Chandler. But she has so many arcs from the beginning to the end of this. Like, she goes really deep crazy and then goes normal and crazy. And I just love it. She's like a Kramer, like from Seinfeld, but so much better.
Right.
And I think they want Joey. So this is my theory. They want Joey to be a womanizer because, they kind of hint towards that. But they want him to be lovable.
Right.
So they're trying to, build that sweet, nice guy
I
character.
read something, again, we're doing a lot of Friends research, so, some of the stuff I read, and I don't, but it seems like he said something like Matt LeBlanc was like, why are these girls hanging out with this guy?
Right. Right, if he's such a jerk to women. So
that made the writers go, oh yeah.
So they have to make him cute and lovable and sweet, and so they're slowly, building that. So, all right, my favorite line in this episode is when Phoebe has 2 errors on her bank account, and they end up giving her $1,000.
Yeah.
So they gave her 500, and she complained.
Right.
They gave her 500 more, and Rachel goes, "What bank is this?"
Right. I need to sign up at this bank. And my favorite line is when Chandler's smoking through the episode, and he's giving it up again, and he's in a cranky mood toward the end. And he goes, "Oh, Joey ate my last stick of gum, so I killed him."
Do you think that was wrong? All right, favorite outfits.
Favorite moment first.
Oh, sorry. Favorite moment. My bad. I'm gonna try and not do always Chandler moments, but I'm gonna try. I love his slow-mo Hasselhoff impression.
Yeah. Well, really, that's Alan's that he's cribbing.
But I didn't see Alan. do it.
We'll talk about why you don't see Alan later. My favorite moment is Phoebe and Lizzie. Weird girl, what are you doing? I love their whole interaction on the street.
Yeah.
I love that actress. I love that Phoebe's known as Weird Girl in answers to it.
That's cool. All right, now favorite outfit. Sorry. Yeah. So I like Monica's black outfit at the end. She has this black crop top and then black and white striped baggy pants.
Right.
I think it's cute and comfy.
Yeah, that was a cute outfit. That was almost my pick. This is not a great episode for outfits. Mm-hmm. If we're honest, the guys are probably not going to win a lot of favorite outfits. I know you wanted favorite outfit, as a standard thing for our episodes, but it's mainly toward the girls, if we're honest. I went with, at one point, Phoebe's wearing a very 90s blue dress.
Yep, like a slip dress.
Yeah, with a t-shirt on underneath it. It's very 90s. It's very cute. I always like that look. It's very Drew Barrymore.
Right. But Monica's wearing overalls in the cold open. And you love overalls.
I love overalls. I just mentioned that last time. The only reason I didn't go with it, because I did see it, is because she's kind of sitting all scrunched up on the couch. You don't really ever get to see it.
Okay.
That's she does look adorable in the overalls.
All right.
But it's very brief, and I don't know.
Okay.
I was trying to change it up. Dramatic line reading.
Dear Miss Bouthé, thank you for calling attention to our error. We have credited your account $500. We are sorry for the inconvenience and hope you will accept this football phone as our free gift.
All right, so let's go through the scenes. We start with the cold open. We're in Central Perk. All 6 of our friends. Phoebe arrives, and they ask how the date was. And he answers, we should do this again. And I said that after our first date, you said, what are you doing tomorrow?
What are you doing tomorrow? Because we got to do something again.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
So I think we went out on a Friday night. I came over to your house on Saturday, and then you came to my church on Sunday.
Right.
So 3 full days of the first date.
Right. But I had been asking you out for months up until you said yes. So I was eager to continue on.
It's it took so long for the first date. I better ask now for the second date. All right. Dating language. Then they start talking about dating language, and they throw out all the cliches. Joey, it's not you, but it is you.
You're such a nice guy. And then they're going to date an alcoholic or something,
Yeah,
and then complain about them to you.
Leather wearing.
Yes.
Phoebe says, I think we should see other people. Means, ha, I already am. And Rachel seems perplexed by all of this. And
Right.
She just is and that they don't mean that, And so did her and Barry just date for a long time? Or is this the stuck-up part of Rachel coming out that guys were always interested in her, and so she never got the line?
Right. It's another time later, again, that Rachel says, well, they always called. And Monica's like, bite me.
Right.
That's in a different episode. So I think it's a little both. I think she probably doesn't have a ton of experience dating outside of school.
Sure.
But, yeah, I would think that she's just probably not been exposed to it.
And then they talk about how parents lie about dogs going to live on farms. And Ross goes, no, but wait, our dog, Chi-Chi, went to live on a farm. And he's a little slow on the uptake.
Right, he is a little, they all just keep staring at him like, are you not understanding? You're not the exception to the rule.
All right, so now we're in Chandler and Joey's apartment the first time.
Right.
And they're rehearsing a scene, and Chandler goes, ooh, that was really good.
I got chills. I always like when Joey's rehearsing, because it's fun to, Chandler's horrible at the line reading.
Yeah.
They always use it for a little bit of fun. And we have the number 1 sweater vest in this episode.
Okay, sweater vest number 1.
Yes.
But what size is this fucking sweater vest? I mean, my God, all 3 of us can fit inside of it. It's so large.
That's a 90s medium.
And I love Joey's character's name and how Chandler says it. Damone.
Damone.
I've never heard that name before. They use Emily and Julie, right. And then they threw out this Damone.
Right.
And then Joey has to smoke for a scene, so he lights up a cigarette, and Chandler tells him to relax his wrist.
But not that much.
But not the gay amount. Yeah.
Right, not the gay amount. Again, the subtle homophobia of the 90s. I don't know. That's how guys were with each other. Oh, hey, hang on. If you do that, people might assume you're gay.
Right.
Now I just wear fingernail polish.
Right.
I do whatever I want.
Pierced, yeah. You wear a dress? No, a skirt for a while?
I do whatever I want. I don't care.
Right.
I never really cared then, but there was always that you don't want to be perceived as gay. Right. And thankfully that's changed.
Yeah.
To where, I know some people out there still, whatever.
Florida.
But let's ignore those people. But I'm glad that you can that it's a little more open now. Yeah. You're a little freer to do whatever you want. Not all the way there, but
right.
As far as holding a cigarette, I used to have a friend that would hold cigarettes. He would put the cigarette at the tip of his finger, between his index finger and his middle finger. Uh-huh. And he wasn't a smoker. He would just smoke every now and then. And he would cross his legs and lean on his knee and just from the tip of his finger is the weirdest. Like,
Maybe he's playing a character.
what are you doing?
I like, he hesitates giving Chandler the cigarette, but he ends up giving it to him so he can get smoking lessons. And then Chandler takes a puff and says, "Oh my God." And did he teach Janice that? Or did Janice pick it up? Because he says it a lot throughout. Like, but this is the first time we ever hear, "Oh my God." I mean,
oh my God. Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, Matthew Perry is a heavy smoker in real life. I read his autobiography, but he smokes a lot in real life.
I do not smoke.
No, never did. All right, scene 2. We're back in Central Perk. Monica, Rachel, Chandler, Ross, and Joey. And they're talking about the length of a man's penis. They don't say it out loud. I will say it out loud.
You'll say it out
loud. We never said hoo-hoo or, haha or whatever. They made up names for penis and vagina. We just said, that's your penis. That's your vagina.
For our kids, yeah. These are the names.
Right. Does your vagina hurt? Because I'm going to ask you that. I'm not going to say, did your hoo-hoo hurt? And then this is the part where Rachel serves the drinks incorrectly, which cracks me up. So.
Yeah, and in the background is the same weird character actor, or the weird background actor from the last episode.
Yeah, the one that was pounding on the table.
And he's sitting with a guy who's wearing one of Chandler's sweater vests from a later episode. He hasn't worn it yet.
Recycle the sweater vests. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's because you didn't wear a lot of sweater vests. I don't remember sweater vests being...
Yeah, I never wore... I mean, I was never what you would call a preppy person. Yeah. Anyway.
You used to wear suit vests, ironically. But...
Right.
Phoebe enters mumbling, mad about the bank error in her favor.
Right.
And
now,
so
again, Monopoly teaches you bank errors are fine.
Right.
You get cards for bank errors in your favor. You're just supposed to go, oh, cool.
Thanks. And then I love the line where she's telling them about the story, and she goes, I open my mail, and you get their monthly statement. He goes, easy. Like it's a topic she's already pissed off about. And then she talks about she can't keep the money because if she bought a nice pair of shoes and she was walking, she would hear, not mine, not mine. And I like if she was skipping, not mine, not mine.
Yeah, we get it. We understand.
And
then Chandler's sticking his ass up in the air.
That's the weirdest thing. You just turn around and his butt is sticking up by Phoebe's face.
It's like, why is this your clandestine way to...
Right.
I think it's just his funny way of announcing it.
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't imagine he really thinks that this is going to work.
That he's going to be able
subterfuge.
to keep hiding it. So he's smoking. And then they argue with him until he finally puts out the cigarette. And he puts it out in Phoebe's coffee.
Which is very rude.
And it's very un-Chandler-like.
And then
there's an ashtray right there. And
then I was trying to remember if Phoebe actually ordered anything.
I didn't hear her say anything. But Rachel handed her something.
Right. So
yeah, because she just walks in mumbling and sits down on the couch.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So somebody else is staring at her going, she got my coffee. He just put a cigarette out.
So Chandler hasn't smoked in 3 years, but he says not smoking.
This is my reward.
That's right. You get to smoke when you haven't smoked 3 years. Monica has a date with Alan. I like her line when they keep asking her when they get to meet Alan, and she goes, so today's Monday, so never. I like that.
We liked Steve. Steve was sexy.
Could you even start dating somebody that talked like that long enough to introduce it to your friends?
Right. So you want to go out on a date? I don't know.
There's so many.
Big head.
There's so many vests in this scene.
Yes.
Chandler's wearing a vest. Monica's wearing a vest. Rachel's wearing a vest. It's like
vests were very big in the 90s. You just said I used to wear suit vests.
I know, but I just don't remember it. I don't know. Although I do, if you went in my closet right now, I do have a vest. So bringing it back.
I'm going to start wearing vests again.
All right, you do.
better believe it.
Then we go to Monica's restaurant, and it's Monica and Paula this time.
Paula,
Co-worker.
yes. Not Franny, because presumably she banged Alan as well.
Yeah, so she was like, I can't work with Monica. And then Monica describes her friends like coyotes. They pick apart the people that she likes, and they can't. And then Paula tells her, well, they can't meet him they can't like him if they never get a chance to meet him. So
Right.
she talks her into allowing Alan to go to meet everybody.
Yes.
So then we're at Monica's apartment. Monica, Rachel, Chandler, Ross, and Joey. So all of them are there. And this is where the cold open comes back. And Joey says, let it go, Ross.
Right.
And he goes, you didn't know, Chi-Chi. So I thought that was funny.
And Chandler's out on the balcony smoking. And it starts to rain.
Yep. And she makes him promise will be good. And she says, you too, Chandler. And then when it starts to rain, he knocks on the window.
Well, he wants to come in.
So he's like knocking to say, can I come in?
Right. I want to come in and smoke. I mean, again, I don't smoke. Both my parents smoked.
Mm-hmm.
So there was always that constant, Again, this is 90s. This will come back up later in the episode. I'll bring it back up again. But this is right when certain places were starting to go, okay, don't smoke in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Because that's gross. And other places were like, no, nobody's going to eat out if they can't smoke.
God.
Like,
we both worked in restaurants growing up, when we were younger. And I just remember like coming home from work and you'd be like, you worked in the smoking section, didn't you? Because it was like, but I never understood smokers. I mean, I see smokers in the rain. I see them in the snow. I see them when it's 90 fucking degrees outside. Right. I'm like, that's the last thing I want to be doing is breathing smoke in.
I worked at the parks department. We were putting in a parking lot at this one park, and it was during the summer. It was a summer job, and we had the cement truck with all the exhaust. It's 90 degrees outside. We have 4 of us pulling this curb making machine,
right?
And you had to stab the cement in the machine so it wouldn't dry, and like 6 of us just standing around this thing right behind the cement truck. And they were like, okay, we're going to take a break. And the one guy didn't even move, put a cigarette in his mouth and lit it before he even walked away.
Jeez. I don't know. My only addiction maybe is coffee, and I don't think it's that bad, but.
No, it's pretty bad.
Oh, come on. All right. Phoebe enters in a snit again. More bank errors in her favor.
Right.
That's what my favorite line is.
Right.
What bank is this?
It would have been funny if Phoebe's karmic luck would have grown exponentially through every episode. To by the end of the series, she was a billionaire.
Just because of dumb sheer luck.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if karma worked.
Right.
I'm not a karma person. But if you really thought, just keep giving it,
right.
By the time
that's funny.
She's a billionaire at the end, that would have been funny.
The buzzer buzzes. Alan comes in, and Alan looks 40. What is it with her and like all these old guys?
I don't know, Dr. Burke. He is a great friend to Dad.
25 years older than them.
She likes older guys. I don't know what to tell you.
I like that knowing glance she gives to Alan right before he says that line in the voice.
Go ahead. They'll dig it.
Yeah, they'll think it's funny.
I heard so much about all you guys.
Then we never get to see Alan, because we cut right to the scene where Alan's leaving.
Right.
So we don't get to spend the evening with him or see him interact or anything.
Right. Well, that's one of my favorite things about this. The way they treat this episode is they know if they show Alan, some of the people will like him, some of the people won't like him, he'll be annoying, blah, 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 blah. So they purposely don't show you anything that Alan really does. Because you're getting it all through them.
Yeah.
So. And I love that. I love that they know if we don't show him at all, we can build him up in these ways.
Right. So Alan's left the building, and Monica says, "Let the bashing begin. I'll go first. He's old."
He has more hair on his face than on his head.
But they love him. They think
love
he's
him.
great. And they notice the thumb to finger ratio.
I like that Jennifer,
Aniston, yeah.
Rachel,
Yeah.
does it because she wasn't part of that conversation earlier.
Right.
So she's establishing that this is a universal fact.
Right. Oh, and then Phoebe goes into the man in the shoe because Joey brings up the crooked smile.
Right.
And then she just stops dead in her tracks like, is it? What? You know?
Right.
I just
Well,
love
it's
her
funny
face.
because you're like, oh yeah, the cricket, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's not anything. Is
Yeah.
it? For a while.
And then there's the slow-mo Hasselhoff impression, my favorite.
You're doing it now. Nobody can see you.
Sorry. And we didn't even watch Baywatch, which is hilarious. I mean, we've seen parodies. We've
Right.
probably seen the commercials or the
Right.
Yeah. I think the weirdest line is when Ross goes, "You know what I like about him? The way he makes me feel about myself."
Well, again, they're selling he's just this perfect guy.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, we're 3 episodes in, but we know Monica's kind of a slutty slut. Bringing home a bunch of guys, and they never like the guy.
Yeah.
Right. Again, judging by Paul the wine guy, rightly so.
Right.
But this is the guy that they all like.
Yeah.
And they don't just like him. They
love him.
They love him.
Yeah. And Monica seems put off by how much they like Alan.
Right. So this first, when she kind of sits there at the end of the scene, it's kind of like, I'm wondering, is it that she is going into the Alan relationship kind of like, he's fine, but I don't feel that way about him yet.
Right.
And is that how she's feeling in this moment? Or is she starting to like him less because her friends like him?
Like him so much. Maybe. Then this is a weird scene to me. And I never see anything like it ever again. So Monica's sitting there at Central Perk. She's sitting at the counter, the coffee counter. Rachel, Ross, Chandler, and Joey come in wearing sports stuff. So weird. When were they on a team?
Well,
I mean, Rachel just moved there. So, like, what happened?
Well,
And-
I'm not sure Rachel and Ross were on the team.
Okay, because Ross is just holding the pom-poms because
Right.
I was like, was he the cheerleader or what's going on?
I think they were just sitting around the park waiting for a pickup game, like later when they want to play the girls in basketball.
Okay.
I don't think they're actually in a,
Right.
I don't know what
Like
you,
a league. Or
like a league.
Okay.
Yes.
And then this is the first fake out sad face, like
Right.
I hate it or it didn't work out.
We won. Now, I don't think it's a good sign that they were all there with Alan except for Monica.
Yeah.
Like, did she get off work too late to go?
Right.
Was she like, no thanks, you go ahead?
Right. I don't feel like playing a pickup softball game. So Rachel goes behind the counter and what the F is on her hat?
It's a whistle.
A whistle. That's her sports hat.
It's a sports hat. It's
Okay.
because it's got a whistle on it.
Yeah. So
It's the only sports hat they have at Bloomingdale's, probably.
I don't like baseball hats where the brims are not molded or shaped correctly.
Right. I'm a bendy hat guy.
Yeah, I don't like the straight brim.
There are those guys that buy the sports hats and they have to look perfectly new
Oh, no.
all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not one. I'm a guy that as soon as I get it in my hand, I bend the fuck out of it so that it conforms to my head
Right.
and is comfortable to wear.
The other thing I noticed, even if she was so say she did play, because
Right.
she's carrying bats and
Right.
stuff. Her hair is immaculate
Right.
under this non-formed baseball hat.
Right.
So I don't believe it.
Yeah,
Not falling for
I
it.
don't think that it had. I think she was sitting on the sidelines
Okay.
watching Alan play all the positions.
That's right.
Because they suck, which is why he doesn't like hanging out with them. Because
'Cause they suck.
he has to do everything.
I have to tell him not to do this. I have to tell him to do that. So Alan was how they won. Alan made us a team.
But you think Alan is too much Alan?
I'm gonna start using that. I think Mr. Jones is too much Mr. Jones. I don't know who Mr. Jones is, but I try not to use somebody I know.
Spike Jones? You don't like Spike Jones?
I love Spike Jones. And then you brought this up before, how we don't get to know anything about Alan.
Right.
We don't
get to see it.
Yeah, we don't hear him talk to everybody. We don't hear anything. So.
Right. Because it's the best way to sell him as the best guy ever is to not show it.
And I like Chandler's line, I could get a gallon of Alan.
A gallon of Alan. All over my face.
And so then this is one of your favorites because they're not on the set. They're on the back lot avenue, as you put it.
Right, they're on Backlot Avenue. And it's Phoebe and Lizzie.
Yep.
And it's the always fantastic
Beth Grant. Yeah.
Yes.
She's great.
And she's been in everything. She was Dwight's babysitter on The Office,
Yep.
who he dated later.
Yep.
She was in No Country for Old Men, Little Miss Sunshine, Speed. She has 242 acting credits on IMDb at the time of this recording.
Yep.
Which I'm sure will grow.
Yeah.
Because she's
really good.
Always working.
Yeah, and she's funny.
Always great and everything.
Yeah. And then Phoebe says, "Hey, Lizzie."
Hey, work girl. That just cracks me up.
And then she brought her alphabet soup. And she said, "Did you take out the vowels?"
Did you take out the vowels?
Yeah.
That's so random. I love it. That's the stuff I love.
Crazy people, the vowels bother them. So, and then she goes, "Guess what else I got?" And she goes, "Saltines."
Saltines?
No, $1,000 and a football phone. And then she feels so bad she has to give her something
Right.
for that.
She's like, "You want my tinfoil hat?"
Yeah. She's like, "No, you better keep that." And then
buy me a soda.
Yeah, buy me a soda and we'll be square.
And she's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
that's weird." But I love that the homeless woman calls her a weird girl.
Yeah. And then we go to Chandler's cubicle, and I mentioned before there's two no smoking signs on his cubicle.
Right, and I assume you put those there, Joe.
Of course, yeah. And that's sweater vest number 2 for the episode.
And this one matched his shirt so well. For a minute, I didn't see it.
Yeah. It is so matching because when you mentioned that it was sweater vest number 2, I had to take off my glasses because I was like, it's a brown shirt. Oh my God, that sweater vest is made from that same color.
Right.
So weird.
It's such a fucking ugly color.
So bad.
I'm not a big brown person anyway.
I'm going to wear my poop sweater. And then he has a cigarette in his drawer, a small fan, breath spray, and then air spray.
He does the whole shtick.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I made that note, I never spelled shtick before. So that took some time to figure out.
Were you high or just normal? Just normal couldn't write shtick?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. But it's a weird word. I've never had to spell it before.
So, because of all the sight gags and stuff, and it's Chandler, I was waiting for the fan that, when he accidentally sprays the stuff.
Because those fan things are only
I was waiting for it to catch his tongue.
They're not even plastic. They're like that foam.
I was waiting for it to catch his tongue because it seems like something he would do. I know I would have done it. Yeah.
Right. And again, smokers, this time era was when, again, that battle was raging between smokers and non-smokers in public places. And I distinctly remember my dad having listened to some right-wing radio guy all the time. And this guy was like, when non-smokers tell you that they can smell the smoke on you, they're lying.
What the fuck?
And that was a moment when I was like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot.
That's so fucking naive. I'm like, so I can smell, I don't know if it's a mom thing. I don't know if it's a me thing, but there are two things that I can smell without hesitation in 100-mile radius, and that's piss and cigarette smokes. Like, the minute I smell someone light up a cigarette, I'm like, who's smoking? Who's smoking?
Well, and you're allergic to, I mean, you don't just not like cigarette smoke. You're allergic to cigarette smoke. I get really
sick, yeah.
But, like, when I was a kid, like, I had a vice principal who was like, when did you start smoking, Adam? And I was like, I don't smoke. Both my parents smoke. And he's like, you reek of cigarette smell.
No shit,
and I'm
Tracy.
Like, I just told you both my parents smoke.
I don't live in a
bubble. All my clothes smell like smoke, okay?
Right. And I didn't realize until we moved out on our own, because even though I was allergic to it, my dad smoked for years. And I didn't realize, like, when I was away from you, when I went away to school and I came back to stay with you, I smelled it.
Right.
Like, I recognized it.
Right.
Because I was away enough that I didn't smell it. And then I came back and I was like, holy crap.
Well, now, I mean, you don't run in as many smokers now as you used to. But when you run into a smoker now, you're like, oh, hi, you smoke.
Yeah. I got a rental car one time and I had to take it right back. I like opened the door and then just shut it and went back inside and said, some motherfucker smoked in that car and I cannot drive it.
You need to air that out for a few weeks.
I need a new car. No way.
All right. Fuck smokers. We'll move on.
All right. Fuck smokers. It's about friends. Scene 9, we're on the back lot again.
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe and Lizzie. She buys Phoebe a soda. She asks her if she wants a pretzel. She says nope, and then takes off like before she changes her mind.
She's like, no, see ya. And then she opens the soda and
something's in there.
We don't know what's in the soda yet, but next scene.
Yep, they go back to Central Perk, all 6 friends, and what's in the soda?
A thumb.
A tiny hitchhiker. And then she asks if they want to see. And nobody wants to look. I thought somebody would look. Like, even Ross, I don't know. Would you look?
Yeah.
I would look. Yeah.
I was like, is it a whole thumb?
Right.
Is it from the knuckle?
Is it a tip? Yeah. Did they cut it off down at the base of the hand? Or...
Right.
Yeah. I would have looked.
It seems like it would be hard to get a thumb in a can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be curious. I'd see what the severed thumb looks like.
And then we learn that smoking is worse than the severed thumb.
Yeah.
Chandler says, everyone has flaws.
Right. And this is when he starts his misdirection plan.
Yes. I could do without the knuckle cracking.
Right.
Is it like when Phoebe chews her hair?
Well, the first thing I know, before we go through all the list of things, Chandler's shirt is so thin you can see the layers of it through it. And it reminds me of a later episode when he's like, can you see my nipples through this shirt? He's like, today I can, Chandler. This shirt, probably if you stood up, I'd probably be able to see your nipples.
So he starts with the misdirection with Joey's knuckle cracking.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joey says something about Phoebe's hair.
Right, which, you know, non-smokers have their flaws. I used to have long hair, and I would put it in my mouth on occasion.
Sometimes when you were driving, it went there without you wanting it in your mouth. Ross says he thinks it's endearing.
Oh, you do you?
And then Monica snort laugh. I never hear her snort laugh again. Now, I don't snort laugh every time I laugh, but I have been known to snort laugh.
Right.
You can usually get me to do it. You don't have to do it.
I don't have to do it right now. I could.
At some point, he could get me to snort laugh, but I never hear Monica snort laugh again. No. I just think it's funny. And then I love the line where Rachel goes, I gotta get back to work. Phoebe goes, because people might get what they order.
Right. And that's the real Phoebe coming out. That's the mean Phoebe. Yep. Who's like,
it's like, ouch.
I just want my fucking coffee sometimes.
Yeah. I
need to call you out because sometimes I just want my drink.
And so then he does his little ta-da. It works. So I was just thinking, like, Phoebe got the thumb in the soda. I mean, did she sit down and write a letter? Did she call the manufacturer? Like, what did she expect was going to happen? Finding that thumb in the in the can.
Well, she probably, I don't know. I mean, even if you didn't want any money out of the company, I feel like you'd want to let them know you found a thumb in there.
Okay.
Whatever, I'm going to give you a serial number, whatever factory this came out of.
Right.
You might want to
tell somebody.
Yeah. Strengthen the, get the
quality control.
Laverne and Shirley on the line. Or,
shit, that's old. I hate when I mention things like that at work and the kids. And I call them kids because they're all like 20, 25 years
They're
young.
like Laverne and Shirley.
Shirley, who the fuck is that? And I'm like, fuck you. All right.
And I was also thinking of Strange Brew.
Yeah.
They would find the mouse in the bottle.
They would put the mouse in the bottle.
Yeah, they would put the mouse in the... But then their job was to watch the line.
So then they go back to Monica's restaurant, Monica and Paula. I like this actress. I like her voice. She has a recognizable voice. Her name's Jennifer Lewis. She only has one N in Jennifer. I thought it was, And then she asked if you ever went out with a guy your friends really like. And I said, all my friends like you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, your friends. Well, I'm amazing.
And humble.
And maladjusted.
That's right. And then she says, they feel the thing, but I don't feel the thing. And I love this line and the way she says it. Honey, you should always feel the thing. I just like the way she delivers it. Also, is it me or is this the weirdest restaurant kitchen you have ever seen?
Right. It looks like it's in the front of the restaurant.
Yeah, like we've both worked in restaurants and there's like this cute little shelf with boxes of spaghetti and jars of sauce on it. And
what I think is they're just trying to utilize another set without having to build a kitchen.
Yeah.
They're just putting in... because the shot is super tight.
Right.
There's another shot later when she's breaking up with Alan that looks
Where
like...
are they?
It looks like it's Central Perk,
Yeah.
but it's a super tight shot.
Yeah.
That's like they're just utilizing extra space.
Right.
Because they just built the guy's apartment. They just decorated
That's
that.
right. They had to build
They
whole
can't
nother
do
apartment.
everything
That's right.
all at once.
Plus, we're only three episodes in, and so producers don't want to spend a lot of money.
They used the back lot for a whole day. I mean...
Big, expensive sets unless they know the show's going to take off. So we're back at Central Perk. Rachel, Chandler, Ross, and Joey. And Chandler is yelling at them because they are yelling at him about smoking. I've had it with your cancer, your emphysema, and your heart disease. Smoking is cool.
And you know it. Again, the shtick thing. I spelled emphysema right the first time. So I don't know what that means. But we get sweater vest number 3 for the episode.
3 sweater vests in one episode.
Now, I think he wore this one in one of the previous episodes.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not tracking the minutia of the costume department.
Right.
I'm just tracking how many sweater vests he wears per episode.
Okay.
It looks familiar, but it's not one that he's already worn in this episode. So, sweater vest 3.
2, and I'm not going to track it because I'll forget or it'll be too hard, but like I think the guys rewear things more than I see the girls rewear things. Like,
right.
I see Monica's robe all the time and stuff like that, but I see the guys rewear shirts or T-shirts or...
Well, again, I talked about how it's not going to be the guys winning the best dressed a lot.
Yeah.
Because, a button-down shirt and a pair of khakis is just never going to do it for me. Sorry, guys. I don't buy khakis.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not going to give you best dressed for a pair of khakis.
Then Chandler gets a call from Alan. Rachel hands him the phone, and
so he gets a non-smoking talk again.
Yeah.
One we can't hear,
Yep.
One that's perfect, convinces him to stop
Yeah.
smoking.
And then I just noticed that they still allow smoking in the cafe. I was just like, hey, there's ashtrays.
Yeah.
And nobody came over and yelled at him for smoking. I was like, oh, they let smokers in there?
So my last smoking thing for the
Yeah.
episode. Again, this is
This is not the smoking episode.
this is the But we went to see when we were in LA.
Yeah.
We went to see a taping
So,
of the Dennis Miller show.
95, 96-ish.
Yeah.
Because we got married in 94.
I think it was 97. Anyway, we saw a Dennis Miller show being taped, and Jon Stewart was
The guest.
The guest.
Yeah.
And they were talking about smoking.
Yep.
That was the subject for that episode.
Yeah, because Jon Stewart was a smoker at the
And
time.
so was Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
And Dennis Miller started with, so why do non-smokers hate us? And Jon Stewart said, because we kill them slowly. I always thought that was the perfect answer. I
I'm
mean,
convinced I'm going to die of lung cancer. I'm just convinced.
okay, that was it. I'm not going to talk about smoking
Yeah.
anymore.
But
Except for,
what did Alan say to him to get him to quit? Like, what was the...
Right. No one ever put it to me
Yeah.
like that before.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's perfect.
Whatever it is.
So we're not going to write that perfect thing.
Right.
We're just going to watch you hear somebody. That's how you do those tricks. You know,
Okay.
it's the perfect thing to get somebody to quit smoking. We can't tell you what that was because we honestly don't know. But
And I'm surprised this isn't your favorite line of the episode.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Where you
when Ross is like, "If only he were a woman."
Rachel
Rachel's
goes-
like, "Yeah."
And then they go, what?
Then I'm like, "Wait, is Rachel? Wouldn't Rachel just like Alan? She thinks he's too old. If he was a
Right.
if he was a 25-year-old girl, she'd be all
All
over.
over him. Yeah. Sounds about right. Then we go back to Monica's apartment. Rachel, Phoebe, Chandler, and Ross. And Chandler is grumpy.
Right, Chandler
So
is the grumpus
Yeah.
without his cigarettes.
It's time to change a nicotine patch. He has that funny lamb chop. How old is that sock? And then I like when Ross goes, Phoebe, you're going to eat the rest of that Pop-Tart. And then she doesn't hear him. And then
Right.
she goes, does anyone want the rest of this Pop-Tart?
I'll take it. And then
She tells, how she got $7,000 for the thumb.
right, which is good for a thumb, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, just opening a can of pop, you get, I guess as long as you don't drink any of it, you're happy.
Right. And then Monica goes, she comes in and asks where Joey is. And
Right.
he's across the hall. So
And
she
that's
goes,
when Chandler says my favorite line.
yes.
You know, he ate my last stick of gum, so I killed him because he's in a mood.
That's right. I've been in that mood, but not for cigarettes. And then she drags Joey in. He looks like he got out of the shower. And Joey says, it's nicer when people get to wear their underwear, which shocks me because Joey doesn't wear
Right, Joey
underwear.
goes commando most of the time.
I mean, we talk about it, and we don't, but the whole series talks
Right.
about how he never wears underwear.
So she breaks the news, Monica does, that she's breaking up with Alan.
Aw.
And then this is something that the writers are going to do a lot of. A lot of my favorite episode moments are the writers flipping the cliches on their head
Yeah.
and kind of playing with the idea of cliches, but framing them differently.
Right.
It's Monica talking to all of her friends,
Yeah.
and they're acting like they're the ones
They're
that
the
just
ones
got
get
dumped.
broken up. Yeah, I love it. It's so funny, and I love all the cliches, and so I had to write them all down.
Okay.
So he says, "Is there somebody else?"
No.
People change, but we didn't change. So that's it. It's over just like that.
You let your guard down and you really start to care about somebody.
Who wants fair? I just want things the way that they were.
Oh, she's sorry. I feel better.
With the holidays coming up, I wanted him to meet my family. That one, so funny.
We'll be fine. We're just going to need a little time.
And she reassures him there'll be other Allens.
Not going to be other Allens.
And so, scene back into, we think is Central Perk because we can't tell, but it looks
Right.
like they're in the corner.
Right.
Monica tells Alan that she'd like to break up, and he's actually relieved.
Right, I'm relieved. It's not you. I had fun with you. I just can't stand your friends. Twist. Again, he's like, I went to play softball for him. They didn't do anything. They just watched me do everything. It's super annoying.
So the tag or the stinger, we're back in Monica's apartment. Rachel, Phoebe, Chandler, Ross, and Joey. And they're reminiscing about Alan, how he took him to Central Park and he rode like a Viking. And they're
Right.
passing around ice cream. And although you cannot see the label, that is definitely Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Oh, and Alan, I just don't care about Alan. Again,
Yeah.
I know the trick the writers are using. I don't care about it. And none of us in the audience really care about Alan.
Yeah. So Monica comes in and Phoebe asks if he asked about them. And she tells them that he's really going to miss you guys. And then Chandler,
I'm going to smoke. I have to smoke. I need smokes.
Phoebe stands up and says, if you never smoke again, I'll give you $7,000.
Yeah, all right.
So he turns around and
So do you think Chandler got the money? I mean, for the sake of karma, I assume Phoebe would have just handed
Yeah,
it
I
over
mean, I
right
think
away.
Phoebe would
I
give
mean,
him.
should she just change her beliefs to suit her financial situation? She should change her beliefs.
I think she gave him the money.
But again, this is one of the things that annoys me about Phoebe. Is she's always bringing up her beliefs and then going, yeah.
Like the fur coat.
She does it a lot.
Okay, you'll bring it up. Hey, Lizzie.
Hey, weird girl.
I brought you alphabet soup.
Did you pick out all the vowels?
Yes, but I left in the Y's because, sometimes Y. I also have something else for you.
Saltines?
No, but would you like $1,000 and a football phone?
What? Oh my god. There's really money in here.
I know.
Weird girl, what are you doing?
No, I want you to have it. I don't want it.
No. I have to give you something.
No, it's fine. You don't.
You want my tinfoil hat?
No, you might need that. All right, Adam. So what themes did we explore in this episode?
So I think that smoking is bad.
Obviously.
Karmic balance is weird.
Sure.
And friends and personal relationships and how they affect one another.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody has had a friend that has gotten in a relationship with somebody that,
They did like. Oh, yeah.
and then you don't really always see that person again. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes you grow to like the person and
Yeah.
they stay in your life, and and sometimes you're just like, we're done hanging out with that person.
Yeah. I definitely have a friend like that who is really close friend, and I was in her wedding, and I just couldn't hang out with her anymore.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So what did I learn from this episode? I think Alan should go on the road talking people out of smoking. Whatever that is. He should
Right.
take that show on the road.
Right. He needs to say $50,
Yep.
and I'll tell you this sentence,
Yep.
and then
You'll
you'll
never
never
smoke
smoke
again.
again.
What did you learn?
I learned that Joey was the last one to get a storyline.
Oh, he had a tiny one where he was was practicing.
Well, he had stuff to do,
Yeah.
but it's not a storyline.
right. Yeah.
He doesn't.
We'll have to mark that like this is the first Joey storyline.
Right. We'll keep an eye out.
All right.
Okay.
So, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Phoebe and Chandler are both funny as long as you give them stuff to do. I think it's awesome that Phoebe is known on the street as Weird Girl. And I like that we really didn't get to know Alan, but they all love him.
I am not sure at Phoebe's age that I could have given away $8,000. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Right at 25, if you would have lucked into $1,000, you would have just been happy and
Yeah,
quit.
yeah.
And then,
But to have $8,000, and
Well-
she gave
well,
1,000
again,
away, and then
she-
she gave 7,000.
Right. So you would only have 7. That,
But still.
you have to give that first 1,000 away.
Oh, I see. That's your karma.
Right.
Right. Okay.
You don't just.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah, we don't have that karma thing. So sweater vest tracker.
Yes.
Number 1, cold open.
Yep.
Number 2, at work in the cubicle.
The one you could barely tell was
Right.
there.
And number 3, bitching about smoking again. And about old socks and puppets.
So, yeah, he was wearing it twice. Same sweater
Right.
vest. Yeah.
Right. He wore it for a couple scenes.
Yep.
But again, we don't.
We're not counting it
Yeah.
individually. Yeah.
So the episode total is 3.
Yep.
So the overall count doubles to 6.
Wow, we're 3 episodes in. He's worn 6
Yes.
sweater vests. So next week is the one with George Stephanopoulos. Did you have to look that up?
No,
How to spell
I
that?
just copied and
Oh,
pasted
okay.
that from
All right,
IMDb. I think of it as the one with his pizza anyway.
Right, because you never actually see
Right,
him.
he's
Yeah.
not actually in it.
No.
And so next week
Yeah.
we'll get to that one and
All right.
find out if the girls find George
Stephanopoulos.
attractive or not.
Snuffleupagus. So be sure to email us if you have any questions at the maladjustedmisfits@gmail.com. So until next week.
Till next week. What, oh, you want me to read the?
No, I said,
Oh.
I was just saying until next week.
Goodbye.
Bye. No. They say it's the same as the distance from the tip of a guy's thumb to the tip of his index finger.